Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show. Good evening. Happy Monday. All right, we have got a full show tonight, that is for sure, and I should start my recording software. And turn on that channel and test the audio through that channel. Yep, that looks good. Hey, Apollo. Hey, Billy. Wow, we got a whole full room. Holy cow. They're going nuts. All right. Okay, I've got docs open. Dude, have you checked? We got a new patron, and the name is great. PPLNB, evil, you're always finding new way to lick the floor for science. PS, fear you get your all 15s epic mount or just get mounted epically. Yeah, I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to put that into the opening credits, but I gotta try. That's what we say we do. That's. I think I'm just gonna say PPLNB. I'm not going to do the rest of it. But, I'll bring it up during the recording because I think that's hysterical. So let's see here. All right, so that's open. I've got docs open. I've got recording open. All right, I believe so. In fact, let me go into Twitch on my... Hello, yes, Kitty. Thank you for laying right in front of my Kindle. That's amazing. You're the best cat ever. Yeah, this cat's... You got to see this. This cat, she's causing problems. All right, I've got Twitch open on the Kindle. All right. Well, I think we're ready. You've got the red button. Kitty, you're moving my screen on the Kindle. You can't... Wendy! Do something about your cat. All right. Cool. I'll refresh the page here because this is just ridiculous. Mama. I do love the mama, though. She wants to love, but she also likes to, touch my screen and stuff. So, all right. Okay. Mama. Well, this'll end well. Oh, she's putting her head on my freaking mouse. This is great. So professional. All right. Okay. All right, I'm ready to go if you are. All right. So, let me put that over on that screen so I can read it. All right, got you in the middle. So, let's see. We've got you. Yeah, we've got quite a few people in here. This is great. All right. 3, 2. Oh, wait. The cat moved my mouse. All right. 3, 2, 1. Click. Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the PlanesTalkers podcast, the show by casuals for casuals. I'm your host, Will Benson, joined as always by my... Well, I do better at limited than I do apparently box openings. Co-host Aramis Perez. Aramis, how are you, sir? I'm awesome, dude. This is a good night. So, in fact, let's get right into it because we got a full show. And before we begin tonight, we'd like to remind you that this episode and every episode of the PlanesTalkers podcast is sponsored. Oh, no audio from Aramis. Hold on a second. Keep talking, Aramis. What the hell's going on here? Yeah, you're not... It might be my cat. I think she might actually hit something.
The theme started playing, so...
Talk now.
I don't want to talk. You ruined the moment.
There, now you're in there. All right. Well, let's do a take 2 then. In fact, let's stop the recording, kill it.
God. God.
Yeah, I really don't want to have to do it again.
That's fine.
No, I mean edit it. Yeah. Cat, you're killing me, Smalls. All right.
Oh,
Okay, so red button, take two.
Yes.
All right. So 3, 2, 1, click. Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the PlanesTalkers podcast, the show by casuals for casuals. I'm your host, Will Benson, joined as always by my, well, I do better in limited than I do apparently in collector box openings, co-host Aramis Perez. Aramis, how are you, sir?
The games that matter in the end.
Yeah, it really is too. All right, well, we've got a whole show, so let's get into it. And before we begin tonight, we'd like to remind you that this episode, and every episode, of the PlanesTalkers podcast is sponsored by Kerwin's Game Store. Kerwin's Game Store is New York State's premier source for collectible card games, tabletop games, miniatures, comic books, retro video games, and toys. With their clean, open gaming areas available to everyone at no charge someday should COVID ever leave this planet, Kerwin's provides a fun and inviting atmosphere for new and experienced gamers alike. They also want to remind you that they have locations in both Catskill, New York, and now on the second floor of the Poughkeepsie Galleria in Poughkeepsie, New York. Kerwin's is 100% the best place to go in gaming. Now they have a wonderful website, KGS Online. That's KiteGoSamuelOnline.com. And you go there, you can get anything you need. And don't forget, you can get 5% off any online order when you use the promo code PlanesTalkers at checkout. Likewise, we like to make sure that we recognize our Planeswalker level patrons. David, Jonathan, Johnny, Bell, Anthony, Steve, George, Josh, Ian, Spencer, and our brand new, and this is what it's like.
You got to do it once. You got to do it the full time.
We're going to do it the full time this once. This is what it says in the Patreon. Ready? The name is PPL ampersand B, so PPL and B, : Evil, you're always finding new ways to lick the floor, comma, for science, exclamation point. P.S. Fear you get your all 15S epic mount or just get mounted epically. That is literally what they say their name is.
I'm kind of sad that it actually forms a coherent sentence, because I was kind of hoping that maybe like you had a cat walking across a keyboard or somebody sneezed or something. But yeah, that is a name and a half.
I mean, this cat is still laying on my fracking keyboard. Oh, no, she's caused us to restart this twice.
She's so happy. Look how happy she is.
And she's like, I'm loving every minute of it.
Yes. So, all right. Yes, and it's saying you're a tad quiet. I'm going to pull your sound up just a bit. Okay. So, Aramis, we are in Untap, and so tonight I'm untapping. I did go to the Glenville store this week, so I got Grand Royal Zero Gravity Double IPA. So this is made by Zero Gravity Beer in Burlington, Vermont, and it's a lovely double IPA. I have no idea how it's going to taste. It's a new one, so down the hatch, and I'm untapped. But Aramis, how the hell are you, sir?
I am doing pretty good tonight for a Monday, not too bad. Just happy that the physical release of Strixhaven is just a few short days away, and I'm looking forward to see what standard looks like after this.
It's already kind of seeing a little bit, not too many changes out there. We'll talk about that during the State of Standard. But yeah, I mean, I'm hearing rumblings about what the heck is it there? Plum something or I can't remember.
I've heard things about this that being not that big of a splash, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, and it's like, listen, again, we've said it before, we'll say it again. It's not going to be that big of a splash until we rotate out of Eldraine. In a non-Eldraine standard, this deck would be busted out loud. But
Bye, Wendy. Bye, Wendy.
Oh, we are so professional tonight. Anyway, but I for one, I'm having a little bit of fun with it. I took out the 5-drop dragon in my mono red deck, and I threw in, and I'm finding this to be a very useful card. I threw in the artifact creature that it can come out on 5 or 3, and if it comes out on 5, it costs. Every instant or sorcery costs 2 more, or I get to copy it. That's been a very useful card. believe it or not. I'm like, okay, yeah, this works.
The Wandering Archaic.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like, oh, what, Emergent Ultimatum? Sure, I'll do the same thing. So it's it's still settling, but I've been pretty happy with it. I've also been playing a little bit of an Orzhov Humans deck that's kind of fun. Has a few little tricks and little fun bits in it, but for the most part, I've played a little bit of Arena this weekend. But I mean, I spent a lot of time, like, I've got to start putting all the cards now that we opened Friday and that I opened yesterday into the binder, because I got cards literally fracking everywhere in this office right now. So,
I got a nice little pile in boxes here. I need to get a new binder for these cards.
yeah, I got a 3 on accident. I got a 9 on accident. I'm loving the 12. You introduced me to the 12s. I love the 12s.
I can't find them anymore.
Yeah, I was like, damn it.
I can't find them. So what I've actually changed to is the I guess they're called archives. It's the
Okay.
ones that have the card. There's like a cardboard sleeve, and you can buy the individual pages
Oh, cool.
from Dragon Shield. That's the one I've moved on to, and I kind of like it. And hi, babe.
Hey. We won't do the breaking news because we've interrupted the show 50 times already because of my damn cat.
Yeah, for those of you wondering, the waving person is my wife. She
Yes.
checks in on us every week.
Usually I make a big deal of it. We've got a bump and everything. So actually I should make one that's like now Pamela News. So but yeah, it was a pretty nice weekend. I mean, Friday night we had a blast. We'll talk about that in main phase. Well, in fact, we'll go to Upkeep. Upkeep, here's what we're doing tonight. We are going to go over our pre-release weekend festivities. We had quite a bit going on, especially Friday. Then we're going to go through the deck tech for the tournament. We already have a gosh darn controversy. It's been 10 minutes. But, apparently some people can't read instructions. I'm just messing with the scoop. Don't hate me. But yeah, we've already got some controversy and stuff like that going on. So we're going to go through that a little bit. Why is Discord going to, what the hell? It's opening in the browser. This is ridiculous right now. Oh, I know why it's opening the browser, because my cat's laying on my damn keyboard.
Hello again, Wendy. Goodbye again, Wendy.
I hate my cat. There it is. So, there's food. She's going to leave now. Wendy brought food. You know what you're doing. Good call. Here, go ahead. Go chase her down. Okay, so we're going to go through the Strixhaven deck tech. We already have some controversy, like I said. And then we're going to go into combat. We are not sure. We may fall into one. And then main 2, we're going to talk about the state of standard. We're going to go over the decks. If there's time, we'll touch a little bit on the commanders. I do have my other 3 commander decks ordered. I have 2 that I bought on pre-release. And then I ordered the other 3 on Amazon. The Amazon's the way to go because they have that, like, scaled down, like, I don't think they send you the big
packaging.
card. And, I'm like,
well,
okay.
there's no really big card in them anymore. There's one that's slightly thicker, and that one still shows up, I believe. But it's just like all the packaging is a lot more environmentally friendly, I guess. Is the right
So
word for it.
I've got those coming. And then, stuff like that. But so let's get into main because we got to talk. So.
Main phase.
All right, welcome to main phase. So Friday night was Strixhaven pre-release, and Aramis and I had a blast. We did do our sealed event, and again, Aramis got freaking bonkers lucky with Kozik or
Silverquill.
Yeah, Silverquill. But what the hell was the guy's name?
Oh, Killian?
Yeah, Killian was pretty much your all-star that game.
Yeah, you loved Killian.
Yeah. I opened Quandrix and didn't get anything worthwhile. So, oh my God, you're coming back. What the heck? Go eat her food. So, yeah, but it was a good time. I mean, it was, again, the problem with you and I being the only ones that do pre-release is, like, it's not like I can go to another tournament or another table and maybe do well. It was pretty much, yep, I have no matchup here. This sucks.
Yeah, it's basically like that, or just wait for you to open up another pre-release kit, build a new deck, and that was probably going to take too long.
Yeah, it was. So, and we really had to get into the collector boosters, which is really where the news is. We buried the lead here. Holy schneik balls. You know what? I'm giving us the explicit tag. Holy shit balls. I mean, wow. Like, for those of you that didn't watch, now obviously the prices are already going to start deflating. I'd be very interested, since we managed to keep it all in a spreadsheet. I wonder if we should go back through and see what it would do now, or like, in the next couple of days. But basically, Aramis and I both opened our collector boosters on stream Friday night. Took us a little bit of time because we were going through and we were adding in things and checking the prices ourselves. But basically, what it came down to was out of a collector booster box, which is retailing now for about $3, I got $1,500 worth of value. Aramis got 14 something worth of value.
It was 12 and change, yeah.
Oh, 12 and change, yeah. Like, just a sick amount of value out of the cards. Most of it had to do with the Japanese altars and the a little bit to and the shoot, what's the word I'm looking for with the foil there?
The etched
foils. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're looking for value, like, if you can get your hands on a collector booster box, which they're becoming harder and harder to come by because the word is out. Everybody's like, holy cow, this is insane. Definitely worthwhile doing. We had to go back through and do our Japanese because we were doing them wrong. But wow, like that was, and there's cards in there that I'm never going to get rid of. I'm not going to get rid of any of these. I'm not going to sell any. My wife is like, oh, that's great, $1,500. So what are you selling? I'm like, none of it. I'm not selling. What? I got cards I need. And now she's saying I'm number one with her finger, but I'm not sure which finger it was. I'm going to think it's the index. Wasn't the middle. She wouldn't flip me off in the middle of a podcast, would she?
Well, she just throw things at you.
Oh, Isabel, move out so I can have your office, please. Anyway. But yeah, so we had a good time. What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I think like there's a couple of cards in the Mystical Archive that are questionable. Divine Gambit.
A bunch of times. We opened like 3 of them a piece.
But overall, I liked that they that this was their, they've been doing like alternate frames for each of these sets since Eldraine. This is the first time they did it as sort of like the masterpiece type thing.
Yeah.
If you don't
the
count
card art on the Mystical Archives is great.
The card art is fantastic. I mean, it's subjective, so there's obviously some pieces where people are like, "Whoa, that's hideous," but it's subjective. The Japanese ones are just flat out gorgeous. I don't care what you say. And in my opinion, they're just amazing. I like the selection of most of the cards. I kind of was wishing that maybe they didn't always do ones that were always legal in standard. Like all the uncommon ones are legal in standard.
Okay.
Because there's another printing of them somewhere else. The rares and mythics are the ones that aren't normally legal in standard. And some of their choices for rares, it's like Cultivate's not a rare.
No.
It's
Lightning
really
Bolt
not.
is not a rare.
Lightning Bolt's not a rare. Counterspell is not a rare. It's Brainstorm's not a rare.
Time Warp is a rare.
Time Warp is a rare, but they put it as a mythic.
I know, which is I'm okay with. Like again, that's just it. I'm like, I opened a Time Warp like in my freaking spell repeater deck there. Like that's gonna be great. That's now giving me 3, extra turn spells in that deck, and then I'm copying it. And the goal with that deck is to make sure none of you ever get to play again.
But overall, I like how they did the Mystical Archives. I like how you have the chance to get the Japanese ones in the collector boosters. Otherwise, they would have just been obscenely expensive. I mean, some of them are very pricey to begin with. I think now the Japanese etched foil Demonic Tutors up to $400.
I'm
but
getting another collector on Friday.
Yeah, probably not.
No, I am.
No, I said I'm probably not.
Oh.
What? But
I pre-ordered it. Don't be mad. I did it when I got my taxes.
Otherwise, I think the set was well done. I think that there's some grumblings out there that the overall power level of the set is way down compared to the last few sets. I take that with a grain of salt because we're comparing them to Zendikar. Well, not even Zendikar. We're comparing them to Eldraine
Eldraine
and
is
Ikoria.
yeah.
So it's hard to really give a good comparison between the two sets when it is that stark of a difference.
Yeah, and
Once
that's just it. I
Eldraine
think
rotates,
Eldraine is throwing everything off. It's hard to beat.
Eldraine's warping everything.
Yeah, it's hard to beat the Beast. It's hard to beat the Giant. It's hard to beat Embercleave. It's hard to beat, Adventure Mechanic as a whole.
Yeah. And I think because I think Saffron Olive was mentioning this, that it seems to, in the initial returns, like over the first couple of days, over the weekend, it seems like this has been one of the least impactful sets for Standard since they've gone to this format where it's no longer blocks.
Right.
And that may be true, but I think, you have to keep in mind, again, what company Strixhaven is keeping right now.
Right.
I'm really curious to see what it's going to look like after rotation, which unfortunately we have to wait until, September, and there's going to be another set in between now and then. But
just one, right? We just have the one coming up, and then it's rotation.
Well, I think the first,
D&D.
There's the D&D set, and I believe the first set of Innistrad triggers the rotation.
Right. So we have one more to go before rotation, and then
and
I won't be surprised. I'm going to lay this out there right now. I won't be surprised if Wizards takes a look at how everybody was happy last year, and around April or May, maybe June, they're like, you know what? Embercleave, Giant, Beast, done. We're just going to do a pre-rotation. And I'll be like, abso-freaking-lute, and Ruin Crab. For frack's sake, Ruin Crab.
Scott Mitchell is saying, can't ever please anyone. Power creep is bad, but underpowered stuff is bad. And that's the hard thing, is that you have to toe that line between exciting and too powerful, or dull and weak. And like I've always said, I prefer they push the envelope, and if they go a little too far, they can correct at that point. I don't think this is an overcorrection. I think it's just, this is just on the low end of the curve. I think that the flavor of the set was very well done. I've not read a single Harry Potter book. I've not watched a single Harry Potter movie.
You really should.
So getting this from a perspective of not being exposed to the lore,
right?
If you're looking at it fresh, this is a great concept. Knowing that it's not connected, directly, but it's inspired by Harry Potter. I think they did a good job of telling their story without stepping on that world's toes.
Yeah.
I like the idea that they had the enemy colors doing things that you wouldn't normally expect them
outside
to do.
The color wheel, yeah.
Well, not even outside the color wheels. Like, they've always been able to do this. It's just that design space never been explored. Like how Lorehold, you think of red, white, you think of aggro, and Lorehold's like, no, we're doing graveyard recursion.
Yeah, it's really
cool. And it's going to be pretty good.
I'm good with it. I think I'm okay with this set. I'm happy with the power level because of the power creep that we saw, starting even with War of the Fracking Spark and moving our way through there. Like, I'm okay with them dialing it back a little bit. They have to dial it back. And they've been kind of doing it little by little all along. Like, I mean, Ikoria was starting to dial it down a little bit. There wasn't the companion mechanic broke everything. And then they fixed it. But then even, as time has gone on, other than Core 21 with Omnath, you can't think about another Core 21 card that impacted things. Theros was pretty much tame.
Uro.
Yeah. So, other than Uro. So,
Dream Crawler.
Yeah. So, I really think that they're on the better track. And I, for one, am okay with this set. Like I said, I think these are built around cards for when Eldraine leaves. Once Eldraine leaves, these are where you're going to start because we don't have the guilds.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, the guilds are long gone anyway.
Yeah. So, you know what? I'm excited for that, but we've got so many people watching, and I know they're waiting for this. So we should get into the deck tech.
I suppose.
As you guys know, we have our Strixhaven Win-A-Box is happening starting now. Actually, people are already starting to play. Now, first of all, we have had some controversy. It is best of 3. So it's traditional standard is what it's in under. So
Well, here's the rub is that it's traditional standard excluding Strixhaven.
Right.
There's no Strixhaven cards that we allowed yet. I mean, you can play Strixhaven cards in Arena now, but we're not allowing them for the tournament.
Right. Because mainly we didn't want to make it so that those of us with a little bit more disposable income or more, resources inside Arena, whether they be coins or gems, we wanted to keep it kind of fair. So no Strixhaven cards. And sure enough, this morning we realized that somebody, after I had locked all the decks, had put in 4 Strixhaven cards. So he put in, he swapped out the lands for him. That's what we decided to do. Was we're like, if it's out of, if it's not legal, then we're going to put it in the lands. Likewise, we actually just found Scoop, who is sitting in for somebody else who couldn't get their deck list in time. I would rather have somebody play than, have a buy. So Scoop, he put in freaking, what do you call it?
Fencing ace.
4 fencing aces. So
yeah,
they are in the sideboard. So I don't know what we do about that.
I think it's the same thing. I think he has to put basics in his sideboard.
Oh, that sucks balls.
It does. It does. But the problem is that this is the one problem with Arena exclusive cards. If you play best of 1 standard, fencing ace is legal. If you play best of 3 standard, fencing ace is not legal.
Right.
So it's a weird little.
And we did say traditional standard inside of.
We did
in the rules. So we're gonna hold your feet to the fire on that one, Scooper. Which it sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
so,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah. I've already sent a text to him, so good eye on, and that's just it. It's like Aramis and I are unfortunately only 4 eyes. Well, 8 if you count the glasses. So, unfortunately we just missed it. And really, I would have missed it anyway because I thought the Arena cards were legal in best of 3. So it was like, oh wait, they're not legal in traditional standard.
I didn't know that either because I don't play best of 1 standard. So it's like, all right.
Next time,
if I don't see it in best of 3, then I just assume it's not legal.
Next time we do standard, which we might do again for D&D, I'll make sure to be like, it's these sets. I'm just gonna name it these sets.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've got.
And I suppose in a certain respect, it's actually a good thing that Strixhaven hasn't made a lot of waves yet because the one concern was that I'm entering this tournament with a deck that's there's a new set rotating in. I don't have any wild cards. What am I going to do? There's this deck I want to play, and I don't have the wild cards. But now it's right since Strixhaven seems to have been slow to pick up. It's not so bad.
Yeah, exactly. So taking a look at it, okay. So we're playing traditional standard, and it's kind of funny how things shaped out. As I'm looking at right now, we have the biggest one we're seeing right now. We have 6 rogue decks. Which y'all are a bunch of crazy people, and you're terribly mean, and your own children don't like you. And then we obviously have 4 mono red snows, 3 Obosh mid-range tempo decks, and then we get like 3 Teamer Luca decks. So those are like Teamer Ram, and then. 1 Teamer Adventures, 1 Sultai Control, which I thought we'd see more of that. So a lot of people are staying away from the Emergent. And then you've got, 2 Abs in mid-range, and then just all over the place. We got a 4-color Ultimatum deck. We've got Gruul Adventures. We've got a Jeskai Mutate, which I think is fun as hell. A couple of white aggros, 3 mono white aggros, and like I said, 2 Yorion control decks. So.
Nice.
It's kind of spreading out across things.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. I was a little concerned that we were going to see a shit ton of rogues, and we are seeing quite a few rogues. You're seeing 6 rogue decks out of 32. So 6 times 6 is 36. So it's like
almost a quarter.
Yeah, it's about a quarter of the field is made up of rogues, and then mono red snow is right behind it at 4. And then a couple of 3s. But yeah, this is really going to be kind of an interesting day. So we're just going to kind of touch on it a little bit. We're going to go through and look at the decks. we'll go in the order, Aramis, that's on the sheet
Okay.
to kind of pull their decks up. So you're going to need to be inside the thingy. Okay, so what do we got here? Oh, we have a match result. All right. So we got a first result is in, so that's good. But let's kind of talk about Amnesia God versus JVA.
Right.
So Amnesia God is playing the Gruul Adventures deck. So Clothis, Scavenging Ooze, Goldspan Dragon, Questing Beast, Kazandu Mammoth, Edgewall Innkeeper, Bone Crusher, Lovestruck, stuff you're going to see in this deck. Nothing really jumps out at me as out of, like, even in his sideboard, he's got Wilt and Ox of Agonis, which I am assuming is for, you're going to put that in for the Rogue deck. What do you think about this when you take a look at that deck?
Well, it's an event. Adventures here it's an aggressive deck, and
Yeah.
it also likes the landfall ability. It wants to get the Brushfire Elementals out early. It wants to get Edgewall Innkeeper out like turn 1 if it can. Try to ramp into a Gold Span as quickly as possible, and believe in the cleave.
Always believe in the cleave.
That,
I am a little
try to keep
surprised he didn't.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm surprised he didn't put in the the big green one that's out there right now. Oh crap! Doubles the
Vorinclex?
counters.
Vorinclex?
Yeah,
There's no need.
I don't know.
He's only playing. He's playing one Planeswalker, and nothing else here does +1/+1 counters besides the Great Henge.
True. I guess
So
you're right.
there's really no need.
Well, taking half the counters off of other people would be like what I'd think of. But
Yeah,
again,
but
yeah.
I mean, this deck doesn't care about that. This deck is smash face, and just in case it doesn't work, smash some more.
So he's going up against a 4-color, and I called it 4-color ultimatum because, I mean, he's got a mountain in there. So it's not just Sultai. This is, he's looking to kind of, I think he's looking to try to hard cast Valky. If I'm assuming that's why it's in there. But JVA is who he's playing against.
He's got some Triomes in here.
Yeah.
Got a couple Fabled Passage. He's got the got a Ketria Triome that he can fetch out. Actually, you can't fetch that out. With those,
No,
but,
you can normally, but not without fetching.
not in standard. This deck is basically try to ramp into getting ultimatums cast as quickly as possible.
And it's not using Yorion, surprisingly. Like a lot of these ultimatum decks we're seeing are Yorion because they want the extra 25 cards.
Yeah, they want to be able to cram a lot of other stuff in there, so they have more choices. But this one, he wants to cast an Immersion Ultimatum and get a Vorinclex, a Valky, and I think Alrund's Epiphany is the other card you normally search up.
He's got
Or
a
Kiora. Or Kiora Best the Sea God. So there's basically 3 cards that are each on their own cards that can win the game. And yeah, you're going to get a couple of them. So, it's making the opponent choose how they die, which I kind of dig that. It's like, hey, guess what? I can kill you with this or this or this, and you get to pick.
You son of a bitch.
And it's very
Shocker.
powerful.
Aramis loves the control deck.
This isn't really a control deck. This is
know.
more of a not really necessarily.
You just
a
like
combo,
it. You
but
just
it's
like twisting the knife a little bit and making us decide how we die.
big swinging plays is how I like that. Just really really explosive plays that can kind of come out of nowhere and be like, oh, look at that, I win.
All right. Well, let's take a look at Vervamon versus Apple Freak. Now, this match has already happened. We're not going to spoil it there. But you got Vervamon playing what I called Absent Midrange. It's kind of like what the Sack deck became, kind of, I guess.
Is this Absent? No, this isn't Absent.
Absint's red, black,
This is
white,
no, this
isn't
is
it?
this is no, Absent is green, black, white.
Oh, okay.
This is oh shoot, what is the name of that color combination?
I thought red, black, and white was Absent.
No,
Mardu?
that's not Absent.
Is it
It's
Mardu?
Mardu. This is Mardu.
That's what I meant to say, Mardu. Okay, well, we'll fix that.
Yeah, this is Mardu. Like this is Mardu mid range or control. This is Mardu. This is Mardu Doom Foretold.
Yeah. But I'm calling it mid-range because, I mean, he's running quite a bit of... Actually, no, yeah, you're right. It's more Mardu control.
This is
Turgid,
controlling.
but Dream Devourer, but yeah, it's Valky. He's trying to cast Valky.
He's
What?
trying to cast Valky, Turgid, Doom Foretold, basically just be like, look, you're going to be sacrificing your stuff, but then I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of these cards here have like throwaway effects, like Treacherous Blessing. You want to sacrifice that to Doom Foretold as soon as possible.
Right.
Just to, you get the extra cards, you don't have to worry about the life loss. Acquisitions Expert, or Luminous Broodmoth, you sacrifice your creatures to pay for Doom Foretold's upkeep, and you get the creature back. If you have Turgid out, you get their creature. When they sacrifice, yeah, this is controlling the board. Slam down a Valky, nuke your grave, ultimate that as soon as you can, then cast all the stuff that's in their graveyards that you've exiled.
Yep.
Interesting. I really like the list.
I do too. He's playing Apple Freak, who's playing just a standard Teamer Adventure deck. I don't see anything in here that's too. I mean, he jammed Coma in there, which everybody's doing. I'm like, green and blue, Coma's in. All right, Coma.
Coma's one of those cards where it's a little hard to cast only because of the mana value. It's 7 mana.
Yeah.
But
worth every cent.
If you can cast it,
yeah,
you should win the game, because you don't need to worry about untapping with it, because it already protects itself. Once you just have to get to your opponent's upkeep and have that ability resolve the first time, and then you can just really start wrecking their day.
Right.
But I like the fact that it's a one of. Same with the Vorinclex, honestly. So it's like I think he looks like he wants to maybe hit it off of an ultimatum.
Yeah. Yeah, so this match has actually already been played. And, breaking news here, so, we'll, And now, breaking news. Yeah, Apple Freak won. So, Apple Freak got it in, so he's moving on.
I'm actually kind of sad about that. I like the Mardu deck.
I did too. I one of these times we'll try to do a double. Like, try to do a double Elim, because sometimes I think, it's just a bad matchup. We'd have to start a whole hell of a lot earlier.
Yeah.
But he's going to play the winner of Jabs and Shay. So he's going to play the winner of Jabs and Scoop. And Scoop's got to change his deck. Oh, that's funny. Okay,
let's have a reward for winning the round.
Let's move on to Bama Shocks and Too Tall Tim. So Bama is a new friend of mine from a different podcast that I listen to, couple of different podcasts I listen to. He's on it. Good guy, really cool, very much a Southerner. He's coming in with basically an interesting mono white aggro, like not what you normally see.
This is mono. You know what? I know this deck.
Okay.
I see this deck a lot when I'm in the play queue. This is mono white life gain.
Okay.
This deck it's surprisingly aggressive. You're dropping down like in Speaker of the Heavens,
Hallowed Priest.
hopefully turn 1. You're hopefully getting down Impassioned Orator early. You want to get your life total up to about 27 as quickly as you can, so you can start pooping out angels with the Speaker of the Heavens. You've got the Angelic Guardian to make sure your guy's indestructible when they attack, I believe, if that's the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, Luminous Broodmoth to make it so that your guys don't stay dead. This is it's like an angel deck, basically.
This is another
one. Mono white angels.
This is another one. He's got Hallowed Priest in there. That's not standard legal.
I see, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yep. So we just noticed it here. Hallowed Priest is an arena exclusive card, so he'd have to side that out.
I'm tempted to be like, okay, if you have the arena exclusives, it's different than the Strixhaven. Like,
but I don't think they'd let them play. I think when you
no. I'm saying I'm almost willing to let them switch out for comparable. Like, we have the final say. Like, if they're switching out for something that's obviously going to help them in their matchup, then I'll say no. But something like Hallowed Priest, I'll let them switch out for the other, another priest that does something similar. Yeah, because you know what? That was not clearly stated in the rules. We didn't even realize that was a thing. But yeah, that's yeah, I'll let him know that, because he's a good guy and he'll understand. So yeah,
okay.
Actually,
I'm looking at the next one.
Hey,
here.
Bama, you got to change Hallowed Priest.
I think the next deck is fine for Too Tall Tim. I mean, if Bama wants to try to see if he can get a hold of some Luminarch aspirants.
That would be what I would say. We'll allow you to do Luminarch Aspirant, which again, as long as if it's an uncommon or common, you should have more than enough.
That's rare.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah. But it's I think it's the same mana value.
Yeah. Let me send. I'm gonna send that to Scoop too.
Similar ability.
Actually, you can swap for a similar card in this instance. Like, again, we were very clear, no Strixhaven, so I don't feel bad about making the dude put in lands. But
Right.
this one's a little bit different in that, these arena-specific cards, I mean, it's not exactly clear. So, all right. Wow, I'm glad we checked that.
That's the one really bad thing about the way that they handled arena formats is like, hey, we're going to make these cards that are only available on arena, and we're not going to tell you whether or not they're legal.
Yeah, so
because they show up in some formats, but not all of them.
Yeah, so that just sucks.
Yeah.
I'll let him know. I'll reach.
So
out
that's a little bit on us, guys. So we
Yeah.
apologize for that.
We will do better next time. We're gonna say we'll actually in the rules for the next one we will say what sets you can use them from, unless it's historic. That's pretty much wide open. But
Could be. Lightning bolt's not legal in historic.
I don't know, isn't that wrong?
Demonic Tutor's not legal in historic, which I think is
arena only cards are bad. Okay.
Cards that are only available on arena. Although Fencing Ace has been printed in Corset 2020.
Right.
So I mean,
sucks.
Some of these cards, like the only place they've ever been printed is arena.
I'm liking Too Tall Tim's deck list. I gotta admit, he's got some. His sideboard has some interesting, like Scalding Cauldron. That's not a card I see too much of these days.
That is in there for the mirror match and like Skyclave Apparition.
Yeah.
Because the mono white it's not enough. It's for the Archon.
Yeah.
For the mono white Archon that has protection from white. If they don't put in Scalding Cauldron, they have zero ways of dealing with it.
Yeah.
Because white just can't. White just can't.
So, okay, and I will also send a message to Bama Shocks here in a bit. Let's move on to we've got Bowfinger Fan versus Grunt. Both these guys are veterans of this tournament. They've both been in it before. I don't think they've played each other before, so that's good. We have we've got a pretty good setup here. Bowfinger Fan is playing Obosh mid-range / tempo is what I called it, which I dig. And Grunt 21 is playing the first of our rogue decks.
I always got to give it to the rogue deck. I got to give them the advantage because that deck has been hanging around for a little while now. It's pretty established. It's pretty well tuned. It's a machine when it gets going.
Yeah. So it's an interesting deck. It's a little slow, I think. Although up against rogues, it's almost like a pretty good matchup, I think. Don't you? I mean, what's your experience with that?
Well, it depends if you get a turn 1 Ruin Crab.
Yeah, true. It's hard to beat a turn 1 Ruin Crab. I mean,
Crab into Soaring Thought Thief is scary.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's got Bowfinger's deck list is pretty, he's running 4 Alrund's Epiphany. I'm not sure. Like, it seems like that's a very, very specific card. I mean, it's nice to have the extra turn, but it's also a late turn.
Well, it's an extra turn. You get a couple of dudes, so I like it. Extra turns are always good.
Yeah. It's just yeah, I can see what the point you're making there. Let's take a look at Grunt 21. I mean, this is kind of a standard rogue deck.
Yeah. Like I said, the deck is pretty streamlined. It's what cards go in this deck. It's going to be the same ones that you've seen. So there really shouldn't be any surprises with this one. And like I said, it's just if it gets going, have fun.
Yeah.
You're going to watch your library end up in your yard.
Well, the interesting part of this, though, He's running 3 Fae of Wishes,
Mhm.
which you don't see too often in this. Usually they're trying to work in another rogue to kind of trigger off other stuff. So
Yeah.
he's planning to use his sideboard as a wish board. It's an interesting concept. I don't think we see that too often in this deck. You know, they're trying to, by turn 4, they're trying to, they're trying to close it out, because if they're not closing it out against mono red's got them.
Right. Yeah. No, that's I think what the Cling to Dust or the Crippling Fear is for. Crippling Fear especially. You
Yeah.
wish for it. If you're going against mono red, you name rogues, and it kills everything but rogues. So, well, -3, but that's usually enough to kill most anything, especially whatever's in red. So I like it. I like the versatility of a wish board. It allows you to have some silver bullets, or even just act as extra copies of certain cards, depending on what is in your what's in your main. So
Yeah.
I like it.
So I think Grunt's got this one. I really do. I think it's hard to beat the rogue deck
Yeah,
with
I would say
anything
rogues is
less
favored.
than mono red. Which is going to bring us to our next matchup. We have Anthony playing Nick. So
How did that happen?
I know, right? Anthony's playing the stereotypical mono red snow deck. So 4 Bone Crushers, 4 Fervs, 4 Rim, 4 Robs, 3 Torbs, 4 Annex, 1 Fiend, 4 Fireblade, and
Yeah, it's mono red.
yeah. He's running Shatter Skull Smashing instead of the 4 Frostbites. I think that's a mistake. I would have ran. I run it with 4 Frostbites. I don't even have Shatter Skull. I'm like, I don't need it.
Shatter Skull Smashing is there if for some ungodly reason you end up in the late game and there's a big beater you need to get out of the way. Something like a questing beast or
Yeah, but that seems like a
Elder
sideboard
Gargaroth.
card.
Yeah, but just one up in the main doesn't hurt, because then if you need the land,
Right.
you don't care about your own life total, so you can just pay the 3 life to have it come in untapped.
His sideboard is interesting because his sideboard is not the standard one. Usually, Red Cat Melee you see in there all the time. Fire Prophecy you see in there. It doesn't have the card that doesn't let you gain life there. It's a 2-drop. Can't think of it offhand. And
He's like his sideboard puts him in from a creature-based aggro into a burn deck.
right. So it's an interesting thought. I think it's a little too narrow to go deep. Up against Nick. Now, Nick's deck, I'm rooting for Nick's deck. I am, because first of all, it's off meta. He's playing basically Boros Dwarves. And it's pretty much a lot of burn with the 7 dwarves, a couple of Rimrock Knights, and Torbran, and then Magda. So he's trying to get his dwarves out pretty quick. But he's got Ugin, 2 Ugins sitting for the late game.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, in mono red, you may not get to turn 8, but yes, you should try.
Well, I mean, with Magda, it's not going to be turn 8. If he's playing dwarves, that could be turn 5.
True. So he's got an interesting, and then his sideboard is 2 Glass Caskets, a Pacifism, Face Fetter. So it's all removal, like just various removal things. And a Realm Cloak Giant, which I might have even put in the main. I'd have been like, you know what? Screw this. If I'm casting it for 7. I'm not sure if Nick's deck is tuned for mono red. I think it could have a lot more fun in other decks in the set. I'm not sure. I think Anthony may squeak it out. But Anthony's sideboard not being so tuned for this, Nick might have a better shot.
Yeah, but you know what they say? They don't play these games on paper.
True.
Although you do play with paper.
You do play with
But not here since it's on arena. Oh, Jesus.
Right.
I don't know where I was going with that.
All right, let's take a look at our next one. We've got Dimitri versus Margraves. Now, Margraves is one of our old hands at this. I don't think he won, but he's gotten into it a couple of times. He used to play Straw every time. So let me pull up Dimitri here. Where is Dimitri? Dimitri and
I got him.
Okay,
Dimitri
so
and
again, he's running a standard rogue deck. You know, Teferi's tutelage isn't bad in there.
No, it's extra mill, and you know you get a smidge of card draw on ETB.
Yep. Yeah, he's got an interesting. His deck is pretty standard as far as that goes, and then I like that he's running Maddening Cacophony. I don't think we saw that in the other one. Like that seems like an automatic. In fact, I've probably put that in before Faya Wishes, to be quite honest.
He's going harder into the mill,
Yes.
as opposed to having a toolbox strategy.
Which, I mean, it's good for this matchup. He's going to be playing again. Oh, that might not be Abs in mid range. That may actually be Mardu mid range. But
This is swamps, forests.
so that's
plains.
Abzan.
This is Abzan. This
Okay.
is Abzan. This is more like you were calling it Abzan mid range. To me, it kind of looks almost like Abzan Super Friends
Okay, we'll call it that instead. Again, I just put these together.
because he's got two.
Oh, yeah, he's got
three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 planeswalkers.
Really? Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
super friend. And then 2 Toskies. I love Toskies.
Couple of Toskies and I think I saw Vorinclex in there somewhere.
Oh, he's got 2 Vorinclexes. Again, I might have wanted to go with 4. Granted, you can only get 1 out at a time, but
yeah.
yeah, this is
This is Super Friends.
So it's
Arcana of
Super Friends
Absolution.
versus Rogues. Oh my! I gotta tell you, this is his deck seems a little slow for Rogues.
It's slow, but I mean, it's between the Binding of the Old Gods, the Doom Scars, Elspeth's Nightmare. I mean, even if he does get milled out a lot, there's an Eerie Ultimatum floating around in that deck,
Yeah,
which it can turn the game around right quick. I mean, there's an Extinction event,
he's got
Archon of
Kaya.
Absolution. Yeah, there's Kaya the Inexorable. There's removal all over the place, and the Heartless Acts. There's
Yeah.
all kinds of removal in this deck. So his whole thing, and Elspeth Conquers Death. I mean, Ugin, Garrick.
Yeah,
So yeah, he if this deck survives long enough,
he has to get
I mean-
to turn 5. If he can survive to turn 5, he's
think
got a
that's
good
doable.
shot. Yeah,
I think that's doable. I think this deck has. He has to draw his wrath though.
yeah.
He has to have the removal. If he does not have the removal, Rogues will run him over.
He has to draw his Wrath. He has to draw Heartless Act. Like, I'm telling you right now, you mulligan to Heartless Act. Like, again, you're playing Rogue, so we're giving you a heads up. Mulligan to Heartless Act. Because the last thing you need is a turn 1 Ruin Crab. So,
I mean, he's got a little bit of fixing with the cultivates and the temples and such, and the Gilded Goose for a little bit of color fixing, and also the binding the old gods is a way to get some extra land. So yeah, I mean, I would say aggressive mulliganing or just a good opening hand, and this deck can do it. But if he does not find his wraths or his removal to keep the board clear, he'll be in trouble quickly. Although Eerie Ultimatum again.
yeah.
Oh, you've milled half of my deck. Look at all these horrible planeswalkers in my graveyard. It'd be a real shame if they all came back. Oh, is that Vorinclex in there too? I guess I'll just ultimate all of them.
All right. So if you had to pick a winner,
I would say the Rogues deck is favored, but going on raw power, the Abzan Super Friends deck has power.
yeah.
Whether or not he can get to it, that's going to be the issue.
Yeah, and again, its standard is so fast now. I mean, mid range
get
almost
there.
doesn't exist at this point.
If he can go Heartless Act into Doomscar into Planeswalker, he should be in pretty good shape.
Right. All right. Next up, we got Dr. Dreidel versus Laufey. So this is a standard showdown, man. This is mono red versus Rogues.
Mhm.
Although I like Doc Dreidel's. He's not totally mono snow red. He's got a little bit of. He's got 2 Tybalt's Trickery sitting in there. He's got a Sabira Talzidi Carabiner. He's got Magda.
Mhm.
Interesting choices.
I like it.
I do too. I think it's got enough different to where,
I'm
turn
curious. I'm curious though. Are those Tybalt's Trickeries? Is he rolling the dice and countering his opponent's stuff with this, or is that like a last resort, or is he mainly trying to counter his own stuff?
Well,
'Cause
what?
the deck's not set up. The deck's not set
emergent-
up for that shenanigan normally,
Yeah.
because you normally don't want really anything in there besides what you want a trickery for.
Right. I mean, looking at it, I could see him doing it against. I could see it being in there for an ultimatum, like if you're playing the emergent, which again we only have 2 of those.
True.
Then yeah, like Tybalt's Trickery all fracking day. Yeah, they may pull the card that they wanted, but they're only pulling one as opposed to two. Like,
True.
and to be honest, Tybalt's Trickery in that instance, I can get behind. That would be the reason I think it would be in there, because yeah, he has nothing that would allow him to do 0 casting cost. So yeah, this is
unless he's doing it on 3 mana for like he's going to Tybalt's Trickery his own Frostbite.
True. But then, it's an interesting thought. Yeah, I don't know how that would work. I gotta figure it's there for the ultimatums. This is the only thing I can think of. Which again, you've got 2 dead cards then, basically.
Well, I mean, you board him out for something that's more relevant.
Yeah.
Second game, he has 2 more trickeries in his sideboard too, so he can go all in if he needs to.
Yeah. Roiling Vortex, that's what I was looking for, is the card I was talking about where I love that card in mono red. What? You want to gain life? No. No. You just have to save 1 red mana, but it's been one of the most useful cards when I sideboarded in. He's going up against a rogue deck. Laufey is playing pretty much, and Laufey is under, by the way, a different name.
I was looking in the Discord. I didn't see it.
Yeah. I forget what it's called there, but it's crap, man. Oh, the Egg Lizdal. E.G. Lizdal. So they're playing a rogue deck. 4 of 1 mines. Interesting thought. It's pretty. It looks like they're just going straight into the rogues. 4 into the story.
Yeah, of 1 mind is a good card draw spell.
Right. Their sideboard seems pretty cool. So she's got a Loris. Oh, so they're using Loris as their companion, which you should. Yeah. So it's a standard rogue Loris deck. So let's go to Double D, Yorion Control.
Okay.
And where are they in the Discord here? Double D, okay. So they're running, the standard Nico. They're running Nico in this, and the Archon version of this deck. I am not familiar with this.
This is similar to the Esper Control list that I played.
Right.
And it's just they take all the control elements that are available to you in the format right now. Dark Typhoon, Amaria's Call, Seagate Restoration, Elspeth Conquers Death, all those heavy hitters, and they back it up with removal, Doom Scars, Glass Caskets, Skyclave Apparition.
To try to get the Archon out, basically.
Try to get the Archon out, try to fire off some Elspeth Conquers Deaths and some Births of Meletus and Omens, and then you get Yorion in there to get extra triggers off of those enchantments, Raven's Warning and whatnot. So
I just don't
control
think
the game until you get a finisher.
Huh?
You control the game until you get your finisher.
Right, but what is the finisher? Like, by that late game, okay?
It's Archon.
Well, yeah, it's Archon, I guess, but by that point of the late game, so turn 5, what's their life total sitting at? Like,
that's why it's Archon. But you have the Doom Scars and Nico.
Yeah.
To sort of draw yourself into stuff. The Brazen Borrowers and Skyclave Apparitions and Omens of the Sun are keeping the board clear along with Glass Casket. Saw It Coming is countering, the big stuff. Elspeth Conquers Death takes care of whatever got through that.
Right.
Once you drop Archon, you can start playing Shark Typhoon. You can start casting your Raven's Warning, your Births. You get all these little lifelink flying Pegasi. And since the Archon's not legendary, you can have 2 or 3 of them out at the same time. They survive anything that doesn't deal 4 damage at once, and they fly, and they already have lifelink.
Right.
So, I mean, if I was going to say anything, I would have liked to have seen a Dream Trawler or 2 in there.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was missing too. I was like, Azorius, I would be jamming Dream Trawlers in all day.
Yeah, it seems to me it would seem like a no-brainer to have Dream Trawler in there because you resolve that card. It's bonkers. But
it's the life gain, because that's just dead. I mean, the life gain is huge on that.
The life gain, the card draw, and the fact that it's hard to kill.
Right.
The hexproof is huge. Being able to give it hexproof whenever you want is very nice, and the fact that it's typically attacking for 3, 4, or 5 every turn, or more, depending on how you play it. But I would have liked to have seen maybe 2 copies, but I can see why they wouldn't do it. It looks like they're heavier into keeping the board locked down until they can cast a creature, and the Archon is just easier to cast.
Which they might have they might have a decent matchup. They're going against Zedmans or Mr. Deadmans on the Discord. They're going up against mono red, and it is a standard mono red. There's nothing really that jumps out at me on this one, except they're running one Claim the Firstborn in the main. And I think what they did there is they took out. It looks like they took out one of the. Oh my God, they're running like, wait a second. Wow, they're running too many lands too. That deck's, wow. They're running 23. They're running 25 lands in a mono red deck. That's a lot of lands.
Well, the Faceless Havens, you don't really count them as lands.
Well, yeah, but still.
Yeah, you don't count Faceless Haven as land. You count that as basically it's a free creature that costs 3 to attack.
Yeah, I still kind of count it because I'm running 22 lands or 21 lands with the Faceless Havens. Okay. So, and yeah, that might actually be where he has a problem, where they have a problem, is it's going
to be the same thing as Margrave is going to run into. He needs to get his removal. That was one of the problems I faced when I played against you in the tournament, was that I didn't draw any of my removal.
Right.
At all. Either game. And I believe there were like 8 Wraths in the deck, and I drew maybe 1, and by the time I drew it, it was way too late.
All right. So Spoons is playing a rogue deck. He has a bye, actually. Harsh did not get their deck list in on time. So Anti-Cognition seems to be the thing that's a little different. Feed the Swarm. Wait, is Feed the Swarm?
That's Zendikar.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good removal.
Yeah. So interesting. He's got a little bit of removal in there. It's almost like he moved more towards removal than, counter spells. Like he's like, no, cast what you want. I'm gonna just remove it.
So he's doing more of like the tap out control aspect of it.
Not Mystical Dispute. Those are sitting in the sideboard. So, decent deck. This could have a little bit of fun. So, let's move on to Eldrazi Kraken. They're playing Sultai Control. So
Yorion, Sultai Yorion.
Yep. And it's the standard Sultai Yorion. 2 Elder
Get a bunch of
Gargoyles.
stuff into play, Yorion it out, and get double value.
Yeah, basically. It's pretty much that. They're going to be facing off against a Simic Landfall deck, though, that I think this could be an interesting matchup.
Let's see. Lotus Cobra, Return Nature, Rebirth. Boot Swarm. Okay. So this is, Shaya, Ancient Green Warden, Vorinclex, Ugin. Okay, this deck wants to ramp into Ugin.
Yep.
Okay. I like
and it's got Teferi in there, which I actually love. Like, they're running a Teferi, they're running a Parcel Beast.
Yeah, so what you do is you put the Parcel Beast on the Scoot Swarm.
4 Lithoform engines, which I think is also interesting. So you can copy the Scoot Swarm twice?
There's 1 Lithoform engine.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And so what it is you play a land, and with the trigger on the stack, you pay 2, activate the Lithoform, and you get an additional trigger. You copy the trigger off of it. So if it's copying, it'll copy it again.
That's an interesting. So if I had to put money,
I'm going to go with the Sultai Control deck. I'm going to go with the established deck. I like this deck that Terran has. I like it. I think it's a cool concept. I'm not sure it can stand up to just the raw value that the Sultai deck is capable of doing, because remember, it's another Emergent Ultimatum deck, so they can find their Ugin just as quickly.
Right. Well, actually quicker.
Or quicker.
They're going to ramp into it a lot quicker. I probably would have liked to have seen a couple of more Planeswalkers in. It seems like Ugin's his win con.
Well, Nissa's not legal anymore.
Yeah. So
it's not like you could drop Nissa.
Yeah. I miss Nissa.
I don't.
So we have Temur Luca. Jabs is playing Temur Luca. And
he got a bye.
No, he didn't. He's playing he's actually playing Scoop's deck. So hold on, Scoops is playing. I just didn't update it. Scoop's playing white, mono white.
Okay, yeah. So it looks like Jabs is playing. It's more like Teamer Adventures. But it looks like Luca. You probably what it is you.
I just call it that. I know it's Adventures, but I like that Luca's in it, and we had it in 3 different decks. So, because Mumble Down has something very similar.
Yeah, it looks like you're trying to put down like the human token and hopefully blow it up and get a coma early.
Yeah. So I like that deck. Scoop's running mono white. He has to make a change. But I'm going to let him know he can just swap the fencing. I did let him know. And Bama already got back to me. Bama is rolling with 2 Luminarch Aspirants and 2 Legion Angels. As opposed to the... So those are fair, right? Those are a fair swap.
I think yeah, they should be. I'd have to...
Yeah.
Legion Angel, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's from Zendikar.
Yeah, so I'm just telling him that he doesn't have to swap for basic lands. Scoop's playing a nice mono white deck. We kind of see it. He's running Heliod and he's running 3 Basris. You haven't seen much Basri lately. So,
yeah, this like I said, it's a typical mono white.
Yeah.
It's a typical mono white aggro deck that is it also has a lot of life gain element and it just wants to go wide and tall at the same time.
So J-Gro is playing against Mumbledown. J-Gro's playing a Loris Rogue deck. His also looks to be more... well, no, he's got Didn't Say Pleases. He's got Eliminate. He's got a Mystical Dispute. So he's kind of going for the middle of the road. Like, I'm going to counter what I can and get rid of other things.
Mm-hmm.
His sideboard's pretty normal. 3 Crippling Fears, 3 Scarclave Shades. So, he's going to be going up against another team or Luca deck or Luca Adventures, however you want to call it.
Yeah, Luca Coma Adventures is what he's calling it.
Yeah, and that again, you're right. It's trying to get Coma out churn 5.
Yeah, you're going for Coma as quickly as possible. Then that's what it appears like to me anyway.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you want to be you're aggroing and getting value off of Edgewall Innkeeper because why the hell not? It's the best green card in Standard right now.
Yeah. So, I like it a lot. I think Rogues is going to be tough. I have a feeling we're going to see a Rogues final. Last straw. All right, our 1 cycling deck. So, he's the only one playing cycling, which I think gives him a bit of an advantage. Because, I mean, I don't think a lot of decks are going to be sideboarded for it either. And he's playing against an Obosh mid-range kind of tempo-y deck, is what I called it. Karn 125. And I forget, is he in his Karn 125 or does he have a different name?
He's in his Karn 125.
Okay.
See it.
So, Last Straw's deck is, your Zenith Flaring. You want Zenith Flare, which, again, with 6 rogue decks, okay. Like, he is very, if he can get past this, let me see what his bracket looks like. If Straw can survive this, he's going up against the winner of Grunt and Bowfinger. So, Rogues. So if he could survive this deck, oh yeah, he's got the best thing. If he can beat Karn's Obosh deck,
he could be playing another Obosh deck right after that. He could either
be playing another Obosh, which he'll already know how to beat it, or he's playing a Rogue deck where he's like, absolutely, go ahead. Put all of my cycling cards in the graveyard, please. Yeah. I like his chances. I got to be honest with you. With the way this field is, he's going up against Karn's mid-range tempo, Obosh mid-range, Obosh Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest thing I'm seeing in here: only 1 Elrond in the main, but 3 Great Henges. Not sure we see that very often because of the fact it's legendary. and there's not a lot of artifact removal in meta. I'm thinking he may regret having 3 of those in the main. And obviously you sideboard it out, but
Right.
I think if I'm looking at this from a standpoint, I probably would have put a couple of more, the Mystical Dispute and Assault coming in for 2 of the henges, or maybe one of those in for a henge, just to kind of smooth things out.
Mhm.
I don't know. What do you think?
I hate to say that I want a certain deck to win, but it would be cool to see the cycling deck advance.
I know. I'm
That's
with you
that's
on
really
this.
where that's just where I'm going to leave it. I'm not picking a winner, but
Well, what do
I
you
would
think of
love to
Karn's
see.
deck, though? Am I off base on that, or
No, I think you're spot on.
yeah?
I'm just saying that
You kind of
I
want to see
don't.
cycling. You're
I
rooting
kind
for
of want to see
cycling.
cycling win at least one round.
Yeah.
I want to see it win at least one round because it's a cool concept. I mean, most of its interaction is uncounterable.
Right.
And then it just kind of randomly hits you for 20 out of nowhere.
It's the Zenith Flare. Yeah.
Yeah, the Zenith Flare. It's just it's an obnoxious card, and it doesn't really get to shine anymore because cycling was kind of a flash in the pan. I mean, it's still around, but
It's
yeah,
around whenever Rogues starts to become the bigger deck again. Then all of a sudden, cycling comes back because people are like, Zenith Flare.
like, oh, you want to mill my deck? Oh, okay. Well, it'd be all these cards in my graveyard. Oh, they all happen to have cycling. Oh, what's this card in my hand? Dead.
So moving on, we got Major McFarlane. These are our last 3: Major McFarlane and Netrock. Rogues versus Mono Red.
We've seen this
Netrock's
matchup
Mono
already.
Red deck is the standard. There's nothing. Looking at his sideboard, his sideboard's pretty standard too. It's actually, I think, the same sideboard I'm using. So, 3 Claim the Firstborns, though. That's interesting. See, he's running more of a 20. Yeah, he's running again a 24 card, 24 land deck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and 2 Unleash Furies in the main.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, because if you can get Embercleave on Anax and then double the power.
Apollo, Shay, the protagonist, is actually going to be Scoop. Shay could not get into the event. So I put Scoop there so we didn't have 3 buys. So, yes, on the other side of that, it's Major McFarlane. So let me see here. Where's that? He's around here. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got Rogues, and it's
the standard.
it's pretty standard. It's Lurus Rogues.
Yeah.
So basically, it's everything that Rogues already does with Lurus added in for extra recursion. Basically saying, oh well, you've managed to kill a bunch of my guys. Let me just start recasting them.
Right.
Just when you thought the Ruined Crab was dead.
All right, so the last 2 here, we've got Scape versus Stubbs and Bible Guy versus Tishboss. Scape is playing the only mutate deck. And I like it. I like this deck a lot. I think mutate's got a good chance in this field. It can go sideways very fast. Now, granted, things die to removal. He's going to have a hard time against anything like controlling wise. An Elspeth Conqueror's Death kills it. However, it's most of the mutate creatures are out of the realm of Stomp. They're on, it's half of them are out of the realm of Frostbite. So, I mean, Mono Red has a hard time against it.
He's going to have a tough go against Elder Gargaroth, though.
Yeah, he is.
Which is what he's playing against with Stubbs.
Yep. Because Stubbs is playing Obosh Midrange Tempo.
Obosh Midrange. And yeah, I mean, Gargaroths are hard enough to deal with. When they're dealing double damage, that's scary.
Yeah. So I definitely, again, 3 great henges, though. I'm a little, I mean, maybe I'm off on that, but it's like, it's one thing with Embercleave, because I always because for me, Embercleave is about, yeah, I have one on the board, but I want to flash it in, so there's value. But I'm always amazed with like 3, I mean, I know you want
3 great henge. Well, it's because you don't want 4 because you don't want to draw too many. You definitely want to draw 1. 3 is the perfect number for that. And just because of how absurdly powerful. Like you look at the 5 legendary artifacts out of Eldraine.
Yeah.
These are the only 2 that see play
Yeah.
because these 2 are leagues above the other 3.
Yeah.
They are so ridiculously powerful.
They're auto include for their colors, even in Commander.
Yeah, they're auto include. If you're playing green and you're playing creatures, if you're not playing Great Henge, something is wrong with you. If you're playing red and you're playing creatures and you're not playing Embercleave, there's something wrong with you. Because both of those cards, like Embercleave can win the game instantaneously. Great Henge wins the game eventually, but very quickly. Because you're drawing so many cards. I mean, just being able to change, like if you already have it in play and you start playing smaller creatures, you're drawing 3, 4, 5, 6 extra cards in a turn. They're all bigger than they would normally be. So, and plus, the Great Henge gains you some residual amount of life when you use it. So it's a great weapon against mono red. Gain a couple life here, a couple life there, just to keep, stem the bleeding until your Gargaroth comes down as a 7/7.
Right. So definitely worthwhile there. I think Mutate's going to go down to Stubbsy, though. I think Stubbs is going to have a better day.
I would say the Obosh deck would be favored as well.
Yeah.
But again, we'll have to see. You don't draw your cards and nothing happens.
Finally, last one, Bible Guy versus Tishposh. Teamer Luca Teamer Adventures versus Mono Right Aggro. And toss up. I'm telling you, well, it depends. The mono white aggro, they're gonna need to put it away early.
Mm-hmm.
If you let this deck hang around, you're done. Yeah.
Yeah, the mono white deck is going to need to take care of business quickly. It's going to need to curve out and not really run into too many stumbles. Otherwise, the teamer deck's just going to take over the game.
Yeah. Their deck is this mono white deck's a little underpowered, I think, for what they want to do. It's a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna say that Bible Guide's Luca, even though he has to have 4 extra lands. That I felt bad for the guy. I'm like, dude, you got to put the lands in. Like we put it in black and white. He was the one who put in 4 Strixhaven cards.
Mm-hmm.
So he's running with quite a few lands. But yeah, he's I think he's got a favored shot here. He's got 3 comas. I mean, you're gonna get your coma out.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 3 Sawed Cummings. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bible Guy for this one. So that's it. That's our tournament. We've kind of done a little deck tech in here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad we didn't schedule much for main 2 because we're at an hour and 10 minutes already. In fact, let's go to combat.
I'm gonna cast Discontinuity.
Discontinuity is cast, so main 2.
That ends the turn, my friend.
It does end the turn. You're right. So, but let's real quick. We do State of Standard. Strixhaven has not settled into the meta yet.
It's
that
technically
week
not legal
between
in paper.
pre-release and release. And again, we say it every time. Pre-release is stupid now. Pre-release
pre-release
is dumb.
pointless.
Like, I'm sorry, it's time. Like, it's time for you guys to,
Well, think about all the ink they would save by just taking the pre off of pre-release kit. Just make it a release kit, right?
So yeah, it's I'm not seeing a lot of Strixhaven inside this anywhere. So
Well, part of the problem too, don't forget, is that Strixhaven is not legal in paper until this week.
Right. So
technically, we're still in the old Zendikar standard for another 4 days.
Right.
The only place you can play Strixhaven is online.
But Mono Red has now gone way ahead of the pack. 21.6. Sultai controls at 14. Then Rogues, Ramp, Cycling. So again, as I said, Cycling does better as Rogues does better. Excuse me, I got hiccups. My numbers are wrong for my ID. Well, change your numbers for your ID there, Double D. What are we talking here? But
Mono Red's on top of the meta, but it's not oppressively on top. 21%
is not an oppressive amount.
It's it's 1 out of every 5, but it's not that bad. And it's a known quantity. It's not like this is a new deck. So it'll ebb and flow. Mono red will get knocked down a couple of pegs. We'll see what happens after Strixhaven rotates in, what kind of impact that makes.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not concerned about the format as a whole right now. There's
No, me
no
neither.
there's no like real card that's so bad. I mean, yeah, we're sick of Eldraine, but I don't think there's any card that's so bad that you're like, oh my
Well,
god, why isn't this card been banned yet?
And that's just it. I'm kind of down with what they're kind of doing, which is, they're making things powerful for limited by, adding in, like the Mystical Archive thing. They should keep doing that. Like, then you could have a deceptively powerful set without them being legal in the set. So, you open a draft pack and you grab it, something like, Lightning Helix or Eliminate. Well, Eliminate's legal. Or
Tutor.
Growth Spiral. Okay, that can kind of turn the game a little bit. Like, or Dark Ritual. I opened two.
Demonic Tutor.
Demonic Tutor. Well, dude, Dark Ritual. Like, I love that I got 2 Dark Rituals, man. I haven't had Dark Rituals since 2003. Like, I'm kind of okay with what they're doing with this. Like, keep the Mystical Archives, man. Keep going back to that. You will sell packs. I guarantee you'll sell packs. Like, that's just it. They're going to look at the numbers from this and go, holy shit. Because you're not going to find Strixhaven in 2 weeks.
And if anything, they have a very deep well of cards they can go to if they try to do this again. I mean, and there are a lot of cards that need reprints. If they do one for like enchantments and artifacts, Smothering Tithe needs a reprint like real bad.
It really does.
So does Guardian Project.
Yes.
Mirari's Wake. There's a lot of enchantments that need reprints.
So I definitely hope that. So, Nick, take care, and Double D, fix your numbers. Apollo, yes. Apollo said, my deck started as Temur Obash, but I really didn't like Obash's. Apollo, what's your name inside the Discord, man? Which deck are you talking about here? But yeah, I am kind of liking where Standard is right now. Oh, Apple Freak. Okay, so yeah, he won his first one. So this is cool. But that's pretty much it for that. We'll talk a little bit of Commander next week when they go releasing this Friday. I guess next week, not this coming Wednesday for Commander Craft. Oh my God, I never even mentioned Commander Craft. Not this Wednesday for Commander Craft. I think next week we're talking about playing Sealed, right? Or not Sealed, but
I probably won't have mine until the week after that.
Oh, you're not going to buy even one pack over it? Okay.
No, I pre-order all of mine on Amazon.
Okay, me too. They're supposed to be here the 27th. So
yeah, mine 27th or 28th, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, if they get here the 28th is Wednesday, so if it gets here, we'll be good. So yeah, I'm hopeful because granted, I have 2 already. I'm thinking about just trying it this week just for kicks, like being like, hey, I'm gonna play the Adrix and Nev deck. Here's what it looks like, just for fun. But but let's get into End Step here, and we've gone wicked over.
End Step.
All right, so as Aramis and I are rolling up our playmats and putting our cards back in the boxes and taking the pizza boxes over to the trash because, damn it, your mother still does not work in this video store, we want to remind you guys that both Aramis and I tend to stream a little bit on the Twitch channel. We stream all of our content to our Twitch these days, actually. So look up PlanesTalkers Podcast on Twitch. Our handle there is, like I said, I got to re-edit that because I'm like, look it up, and then here's our handle. You can also follow me on Twitch at Mindcrime73.
And if you'd rather interact with us in a more direct fashion, like a lot of you are doing now tonight, join our Discord. If you guys are in the tournament, that means you had to have joined our Discord. And if you're in the tournament and you didn't, you cheat.
You
no,
couldn't.
Why?
Yeah.
It's impossible.
By the way, I set the Discord up so that in our host channel, it'll tell us when people leave.
What now?
It'll tell us when people leave because I'm always like, oh, this person's in our... they're not here anymore. I want to know when somebody leaves my Discord.
So anyway, yeah, if you want to join our Discord, it's a great community. Right now, it's really active because the tournament's going on. But even when the tournament's not going on, there's usually a good amount of people floating around that are willing to talk and maybe play a game on Spell Table. You can get to the Discord. It's discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. And if you'd rather just send us like a tweet or follow us on Twitter, you can find us at PlanesTalkerPod.
And I am also on Twitter. You can follow me at Mindcrime73. But really, I'm just there to spend my day following the great and wonderful Dr. Fauci. So I see, it's not even funny this time. I'm just cool. See, I'm hip.
It's at WR Benson, isn't it?
It's at WR Benson is my handle on Twitter.
Yes, you said Minecraft.
Oh, did I say Minecrime73?
You did.
It's at WR Benson. I should have got Minecrime73 because I'm a Queensryche fan. That's really where that comes from.
May still be available.
Yeah, dude, that was one of the best albums of the 80s, in my opinion. And, of course, you can always follow us on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/PlanesTalker. We don't have the last S on there. We took that S and we gave it back to you for savings. And also because somebody took the name PlanesTalkers. Bastards. And I think they're talking about airplanes, which, you're just lame at that point. So we want to also remind you that you can follow our page there. And don't forget, we do a Commander Craft playcast every Wednesday. Now, if you're a patron, you are automatically welcome anytime. We will kick one of the other two guys out like it's our job. However, anyone else as well, if you have a Commander deck and you want to play some paper Magic with two middle-aged dudes who are not very, good and except when they're playing their degenerate, awful dinosaur deck. I'm kidding. You're really good. I hate Sakama. Sakama makes me cry. He's just being quiet.
Waiting for you to finish for the next part.
Join us on Wednesdays. Let us know in the Discord. We play Commander Craft. We start that at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays, around 7 o'clock. And we just play paper Magic 2 or 3 rounds. It's a lot of fun. Or just tune in and join us. It's Commander Craft. It'll be here on Wednesdays.
Yep. Next week is actually the first week of the Strixhaven season. Benson is the defending champion of the Call Time season. Week 1, Zakama will be returning since it won the last game last week. So we'll see how quickly I die, since that's usually what happens, and that's all right. But anyway, if you want to follow the show through email, you want to send us an email, give us a suggestion for the show. Or if you have a question that you don't really want to say on air or on chat, totally cool. There's 3 email addresses you can choose from. We see all the emails that are sent, and we try to resplendent something.
We are resplendent.
We try to reply to all of them. The email address for the main show that we both see is podcast@planestalkerspodcast.com. If you want to email one of us personally, you can email Will. His email address is will@planestalkerspodcast.com. If you want to email me, and the email address is aramis@planestalkerspodcast.com.
Okay, and finally, that's it, right? Is there? Oh, wait, yeah. Oh, and I do want to remind you guys, I do host another podcast that deals with the television show DC's Legends of Tomorrow. We'll be back the week after May 2nd. They come back on the air, so that show's going to be live again. It's called Legends TV Talk. Love you guys. Check it out. We talk about DC's Legends of Tomorrow. We play Flashcraft a little bit, so it's Minecraft, but we build DC stuff. And, you can find us on Facebook and other sites. Just look up Legends TV Talk. And don't forget, guys, listen, not everybody can be a patron, and we totally get that. But if you want to try to find a way to help out the show and support the show, really, iTunes reviews are a wonderful way to help us out. It definitely brings more eyes to the show. Now, Spotify's growing, obviously, as far as podcasts go. But Apple Podcasts are still kind of the main thing. So if you don't have an iPhone, it's a little tougher. You have to download it to your computer and sign up for an account. That would be great if you did that. Leave us a 5-star review. But if you have an iPhone, just go onto your podcast app and leave us a 5-star review. Let us know what you guys think of the show. It will do more to bring eyes and ears to the show than anything else we do. So we'd really appreciate that. And with that, we want to thank you guys again for hanging out with us tonight. We will be back on Wednesday for Commander Craft, where Aramis will defend his title with Zakama, and I will probably play a deck that will lose to it badly.
Look at that right there. Look at that. Right there.
And then we will be back next Monday with our regular show, so stick around. I may do a box opening of my collector booster. I haven't decided yet. But for Aramis Perez, this is Will Benson reminding you that we really appreciate everything you guys do for us. Thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for hanging. And we also want to remind you to remember to leave some of your mana intact. Take care and have a great week. Bye-bye. It's like I have to get it done before the key change. And I was getting like verbose there for some strange reason. This is episode 96.
Okay, it's on the way.
Oh, so yes, that was our show, guys. Thanks for hanging. We're gonna we do some post show stuff, but the audio part's done. So I am upgrading his thing now. Wait a second. Now, Bama, Giant Killer, Speaker of the Heavens, Fashion Article. Did I take them out already? What the hell was the name of that priest?
Hallowed Priest.
Yeah. Two, 4, 6, 8, 12.
Yeah, I got to start figuring out which of these cards I can upgrade with any of the decks that I have. Some of them are going to find homes, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, I did open 2 Dark Rituals, which I was very happy about.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't put the natural order in Zakama. It doesn't really work.
No.
Regrowth might, though.
Well, you can't change the comma yet anyway.
No, I can't. I'm probably not really going to do too many changes with Zakama for a while. Keep working on more of the 32.
Verbamon loss? Wait, how'd you get eliminated?
I might try to finish number 14 here, probably in the next couple of
Oh,
weeks.
yeah, okay, yeah. He lost. Yeah, I'm gonna start putting together the mono black one I want to build at some point.
Is it Turgid?
Yeah. I'm thinking very seriously about just cracking one of these 2 precons just for kicks. You know? I don't think it can hang, because, I mean, the mana base is always the problem with those decks.
Yeah, mana base is usually pretty terrible.
Yeah. And without fetches, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, I gotta figure out. I have the commander that I want to build my mono black deck out of. It's gonna take a while because some of the cards are pricey. Really hoping to open a demonic tutor soon.
Yeah, I'm excited to open. I'm excited. I probably will stream the collector booster opening, because that's good content, man. I mean,
Well,
it's, you know.
Hold off for now.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna see if I can figure some things out.
Oh wait, are we gonna rematch?
Maybe. I can't promise anything,
I
but
know.
maybe. I'll let you know this week.
Well, I mean, when you told me, because you were the one who told me about the Mystical Archive, when you're like, tell me that, and then you mentioned that the Japanese altars, I pre-ordered from Kerwin's right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got my taxes 3 weeks ago, I'm like, pre-order a set booster and a collector from Bonds. So otherwise I would have had 2 boxes this weekend, but I'm kind of glad with that too. I like getting something. Like, we're not going to get our Kerwin boxes for a couple of days. I'm hoping they'll ship mine. Like, Steve was saying something about they can't ship. Maybe they couldn't ship the collectors. I'm assuming they can ship mine. They shipped it last time. So
Yeah, it might be
Wonder if it's
because
gonna
you
be
can only
late.
purchase them in store on pre-release weekend, and they can't ship them until release.
right. Okay. Yeah, because I'm gonna
That
send
might be
him,
what that is.
I gotta send him my address and stuff, because I'm not gonna get down there again. Like that's a haul, dude. That's a haul.
Yeah, I know. I mean, once they start doing in-person events again,
Yeah, that's different.
which you saw they lifted the restriction in Japan, and they're going to lift it in Africa.
Yes.
So
So
a few
but-
more months, and maybe.
it's funny too, because the lady who worked there at Kerwin's, we were talking. I'm like, yeah, I live up north of Amsterdam. I live, in Broad Alban. And she's like, wow, I was at Bonds like last week. I was like, you were just looking for a place to play? She's like, yeah, I was looking to play paper. I haven't played in so long. I'm like, you know what? more power to, them. Like they're getting people in. And if you're, what, I told Wendy, I was like, listen, I'm getting my second shot is Thursday.
Mhm.
So, I'm like, hey, I might want to start going and throw some cards around. And she's like, so you can bring it home to me? I'm like, oh, shit.
Well, my second vaccine is next Friday.
Yeah, but as I understand it, the vaccine protects us, but we can still carry.
Yes,
So
you can
it's
still
like,
carry, and
oh,
you can
fuck.
you can still carry, and you can still get sick.
Yes.
You can still get COVID. It's not that you can't get it. And that's what a lot of people are like. Well, you can still get. Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. What
Apollo,
it protects.
yes, the collector boosters are 100% worth it. Dude,
Yes, they are.
Watch Friday's stream.
Yes, they are. I mean,
you feel free to fast forward through it, but
it's
watch
a lottery.
Friday's stream.
It's a lottery ticket.
The fact that you got 1,200 out of it, like, I don't know how much of a lottery it is. If it's got an etched Japanese in every pack and an etched archive, that's not a lottery. Like,
It's a lottery. If you're going for the big money, it's a lottery.
But I mean, the fact is, we opened 12 boosters, both of us. Mine was 1,500. Yours was like 12 something.
I mean, I would say if you're going to get collector boosters, splurge and get the box.
Yes, it's always worth getting the box, and do it now because the prices are only going to go up.
Yeah, the prices have gone up. Like the biggest reason it was easy for me is because when I pre-ordered it, it was $225. Now, if you get it for $300, you're lucky.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm just gonna go look here. Strixhaven collector booster display.
You might still be able to find them on Amazon for cheaper, but like I bet like watching them in like Star City.
TCG's got it for $237. So plus shipping, or shipping's included. So yeah, they're still running about $230 something. So
because some of the prices have obviously dropped.
Well, that's just it. I kind of want to see what our numbers would have been like now.
But right now the top 5 cards, the etched Japanese foil demonic tutor is $418 for market price.
Yeah.
The etched foil Japanese tainted pact is $300 for market price. The etched foil Japanese Teferi's protection is $248.22. The etched foil Japanese time warp is $224.94. And the regular Japanese alternate art demonic tutor is $148.10.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's still three other cards below that are over $100, and a couple more that are close to $100.
Yeah,
so
like my time warp was like 96. Well, I can pull it up here because we have the sheet somewhere. Did I save the sheet?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I saved the sheet and sent it to you. Yeah. Let's just say save. Changes you made may not be saved. We'll be fine. Strixhaven 19.
Yeah, you want to get the foil ones, and the foil ones you'll only get you'll guaranteed to get them in the collector boosters, whereas you can only get the etched foil versions in collector boosters. The regular foil ones, they will show up in regular boosters occasionally, but the etched foil ones are the ones that are
my tainted pact foil was, I'm sure that's come down, but it was $292.84.
Was that the regular one?
No, it was the Japanese foil.
Japanese foil.
Tainted pack.
$232, but it's still.
Yeah, that's what put me over the top. It was that and the Primal Command Japanese foil for $126.
That dropped.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
That dropped quite a bit.
Oh, what's it at now?
Japanese Primal Command foil is down to $47.
Aw. Hey, it might be able to catch you now. Yeah, this was a good set. Like, yeah, seriously, check out Friday's stream. Now, the numbers have obviously changed.
Yes.
But yeah, like it was ridiculous. It's probably around the same thing. I mean, my time warp foil was $49.43. It's probably down to about 20 something now. Yeah, it's probably the time. I didn't realize that was such a good card. Tainted Pack and Teferi's Protection were the two big ones for me.
Yeah.
I have a Teferi's Protection.
I mean, I've had one for a little while because I got one in the secret lair.
Yeah.
I just haven't played it.
Yeah, I got is Teferi's Protection in the secret lair black is magic? Oh.
No, it's Teferi. It's It's
Kaya
Kaya, Cultivate, Soul Ring,
and Ponder.
Ponder, and I think there's something else.
Yeah, so I did order it. Cultivate, Kaya, Path of Ancestry, Ponder, Soul Ring, Hero, and Voice of Plenty.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
still, I'm waiting for that to come soon. That should be coming any day now.
May, I think they're going to be shipping out.
Cheapers.
You should have gotten an email. There was a delay.
Yeah, of course there was. All right, well, I guess that's it. Did you get it up into the Dropbox? I should probably put
It
this.
should be in there, yeah.
Oh, now Tish Posh. Okay, so Tish and Charlie they're trying to get their match going here. Yeah, so I'm excited. You know what? Let me put mine in Dropbox. I'm gonna edit this at work again tomorrow because that's actually been working out better. My Mac is a 2011 MacBook Air, and it's finally starting to experience like the fact that it's a 10-year-old computer. So it's I'm okay with that. I'm like, yeah, it's served me well. So yeah, I'll upload episode 96. I'll put it together tomorrow. Oh shit. Yours is episode 96. No, cancel. Oh shit. No. Oh crap. Cancel. Yes. Whew. Didn't realize yours was also named episode 96. Yeah, let me rename mine. All right. Okay, now it's uploading. All right. Well, guys, we will see you Wednesday for where we all just get beat by an elder dinosaur many, many ways. You know that, dude. Your deck it's a good deck, man. I love your deck. I love busting the balls on your deck.
It's really the only. It's because here's the thing. It's the only like the decks that I generally build. I build to be entertaining. I build for content purposes. The comma is a house, but I think a lot of that is just the commander in and of itself.
Right. It's we have to stop you from casting Zakama somehow.
Yeah. Because
when Zakama comes down, shit goes sideways.
Yeah, side goes everywhere. It's a huge 3-headed dinosaur. There's so much shit.
All right, brother. Well, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for hanging with us for the post-game show.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right, we'll see you Wednesday. So I'm stopping stream now. Have a good one. Bye-bye.